Well, hello everybody on YouTube. It's the Wingnut, and today I'm doing something a little different. So I've done tech videos in the past, and this is actually one of my most requested tech videos. I'm going to be changing the oil in the bevel box, or this piece of equipment right here, where it connects the shaft to the rear wheel and makes it go forward when you hit the go. So it's pretty simple, straightforward maintenance, like any other type of differential thing. You want to loosen up your drain plug, drain all the old oil out, open up your fill plug. All right, inspect them both, put it back in, fill it up, put this one back in. It's pretty simple, easy thing, but there's a couple of tips to this. One, I don't have a usable bike stand right now because Project Pulled Pork is still kind of sitting here. We got the brakes done on it, and we're supposed to be wrapping it up here in the next couple of days. What I do have is my tools, my 10mm Allen, my 12mm socket, my torque wrench, and my leverage bar, just in case. So I've already pulled the bags off, and if you guys don't know how to pull your bags off, it's just 2 quarter-turn nuts. You slide the bag, pick it up, easy day. All right, so a couple of things we want to do is we want to check this and inspect it. So what we're looking for is any grease or oil leaking around here, and it's clean, it looks good. In fact, if I go in here and do a quick wipe, it comes all right off. So keeping the bike clean. You do not want to put anything in here. I have to say that. All right, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to check to make sure we can get our fill plug out. One of the things I want to show all this going on is this is the drain plug I'm talking about right here at the very bottom. I'm just going to wipe that little bit off, make it quick and clean. Drain plug. Alright, fill plug. Alright, very important. Fill plug, drain plug. I cannot stress that enough. Those are what we're working with that. So the reason we do this first is if you can't fill it, then you definitely don't want to drain. So I'm going to put my Allen on here, and then I'm going to use my persuader in a way that will easily loosen. There we go. Now one of two things have just happened. Either it loosened or it broke. So let's hope it loosened. All right, I feel like it loosened. And these things are kind of notorious for breaking if you're too rough with them. So we're going to go ahead and get that loose. I got my drip pan down below. I got my wiping rag. And the bike is kind of upright because I blocked the end of it. See, it comes right off. I have blocked the end of it with that, just a piece of scrap wood, keeps upright. And you can see a little bit of oil is leaking out right there, and it's kind of dark. Now I do this maintenance where I change it every oil change. Now it does not require that. The actual interval I'll have in a link listed below or in the subtitles. I like to do it with every oil change just because it's a smart thing to do. Now torque values. All right, the torque values on this job are 60 Newton meters, and for this one right here, all right, your drain plug is 15 Newton meters. I am not going to be able to get a torque wrench in here to do that. All right, we got it loose. So that one's kind of going to have to be snug. I'm trying to get you guys the best shot. I'm wearing a chest cam today, and I've actually tried to shoot this 6 times so far. All right, out it comes. Out comes the oil. There's not a lot in there. And one of the things you want to do is you want to check it. All right, the end of it's magnetized, and you'll see that there's a little bit of gunk right there. That is perfectly normal to have a little bit of crud like that. But if you have a lot of crud or big chunky bits, that's bad. Now let's get on to the oil I'm using. All right, I'm using a quick 75 weight 90 trans diff oil. It's what's called for in the manual. There's other people who use like 80 weight 90s. That's there on them. This is me. Now a little bit of cheap insurance. Since it's so little amount of oil, I like to flush some of it through to get all the old stuff out. And to do that, I'm gonna need a little piece of hose. All right, so I got my little piece of hose right here. I'm just gonna run that in there, all willy-nilly. And then I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna put it through. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna see, and hopefully you can, more of the old gunk run out. All right, until it runs a little bit clear. Now, you don't have to do this. I like doing it this way because what it does is it just allows me a little bit more extra peace of mind that anything in there that's not supposed to be in there is out and that I'm good to move on. So I'm going to go ahead and pull my hose out, let it drain because I don't want a huge mess in my messy garage. And then I'm going to wipe everything down. Now it's really hard to see what's going on right here. So I'm going to try to get you guys in there. You can see the newer stuff is leaking out right here. And I'm just going to go ahead and give it a quick wipe. Try to get all the old crud out I can. Now, is it going to be perfect? No. All right. God, is it windy today. So I'm going to go ahead and put my, and excuse for the camera angle. I ain't got one of them fancy cameras. I got to do all this by hand. Chest rigs and everything else. All right. So as you can see from what I've got going on right here, and I've got this hand tight. Now I'm going to put my wrench on it. All right, and I'm just going to snug it up. Now you can, and I highly suggest you should use torque values, but to do it for the equipment that I have available in my garage, I would have to use, I've dropped my exhaust, which I don't want to do. All right. So now I've got the drain plug already closed up, and I'm going to fill into the fill plug until it spills out the fill plug. That's when you know it's full. And it's basically what you would see on most differentials when you're filling differentials for like a car. All right, shorter hose would definitely make this different. Having more access would make this different. Everything else. So fill, 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 fill. Yep, and there it goes. It is now leaking out of the top. So I have now put enough oil into it, so it should be good for us to button it up. And you want to be careful, try to keep the oil, the gear oil and stuff off of your tire, because no one likes greasy tires. Set this down right here. In amongst this, I'm going to take my rag and wipe off my exhaust, which is going to have a beautiful smell when I fire the bike up tomorrow. Alright, you can see the oil just dribbling out now, so she's full. I'm then going to take my drain plug. There we go. Alright, so your tech tip is to get it in as close as you can. Now, once again, you see what I was talking about before with having my torque wrench and everything available. I don't have enough space with my pipes in place to actually torque it to spec. So in this case, we're going to give it the old, that looks good to me. Yep, German fit, good and tight. All right, guys, I know I told you about the torque wrench and everything else. The only reason the way that the torque wrench really works in this scenario is if your pipes have been removed, because then you can get it in, unless you have all the right equipment. I don't. You can see from looking at my garage, I am at best a shade tree mechanic. So here we have it done up. Make sure you wipe everything down good. Make sure you wipe your tools down good. Put them where they go. Don't do like me and just pile them up everywhere. But Bevel Box is done. It's good to go. I shouldn't have to do this for another 8,000 miles, which is my oil change interval, even though it says 10 on the books. Well, hopefully attempt number 6 was somewhat informative for you guys. You know, that's a big thing, of course. You know, recycle your oil and whatnot in the appropriate place. I pull it all up and I send it off to a friend of mine who runs a waste oil heater for his garage. It's the Wingnut. Like, dislike, subscribe, hit the notification button. Hey, it's on you. Have a good one.